Station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. It is Friday, the 10th of December, 2021, and that means it's a Culture Friday, so thank you for joining me. That track we opened the show with is by Colors, and it's Colors Junkanoo Lockdown production, and the song is I Vow to Thee, My Country. But I tell you what, I vow to thee, the little children, especially that little girl reading the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of the video. That's our job. Our job is to vow to thee, the future generations of Bahamians, to commit ourselves to building a better world for them. Good morning. As you may have already heard on Morning Blend this morning, today marks the day is Human Rights Day, one of the most important days in the 16 days of activism. I am an intersectional human rights advocate, and my work can be boiled down to one essential principle, and that is everyone deserves the right to a life free of violence. Everyone deserves a right to a life free of violence. And this is one thing that we can work towards for each other. Well, good morning. All right, I've got a guest in the Zoom room, and then I have got Miss Charmaine Roll joining me for the second half of the show to talk about an amazing project coming out of the Junkanoo community. And I had to feature it because our Junkanooers, they don't have Bay this year. They don't have Bay this year to bring us our Christmas cheer, but they haven't stopped Junkanooing, nor have they stopped being a community. And so it's our job to help the Junkanoo community figure out how we're going to do Junkanoo this year as we try to carve out a new normal. I had a little note. I wanted to look at the news this morning. Look here, there's so much in the paper to talk about, but we're not talking about political culture today, even though these politicians are begging for our attention. And I will just say this, I'm not going to talk about Carnival, even though I got about 45 minutes worth of notes on that. I just want to talk about this quick headline on the second half of the fold in The Guardian. Menace, Davis must address Carnival issue. Dear Menace, I'm going to encourage you to take a look at today's Tribune so you could see the list of issues that you should have and could have addressed before you left office. You know, by calling an early election. But if you just look at the front of the Tribune, you see that headline that says Equinor spills still a threat? Yeah. That's what you could focus on. Focus on that. Keep yourself busy. leading into Christmas. Anyway, to the vehicles on the road this morning that attempted to kill me, license plate AA19. I'm not going to read your last two numbers. I can be polite, far more polite than you were. You did almost kill us this morning. You almost caused a multi-car accident because you wanted to come out of a corner on one side of the road, pull across 2 lanes to stop immediately to ask somebody if they wanted a ride. Let me give you a piece of advice. When you see somebody walking in the road, they have already determined that while they may need a ride, they ain't desperate for one, and certainly don't require you to try kill 8 people to offer them one. But you see, I keep telling you all, there's something special about those AA plates. They almost as special as CD plates. Some people in this town think they're more special than others. And if you think I'm joking, what I can start to do is create a list of incidents that I document that include AA plates. See, those are the people that always had their number. Before we changed the system, the people with AA plates are the people who had reserve plates. Since we're talking about culture and driving culture, I just want to make a link. I want to say good morning to the taxi that ran that right on red at Mackey and Shirley Street. I'm not going to call your license number because I have a feeling that at your age, a taxi for your income. What I'm going to suggest the police do is partner with the taxi union to regulate the driving culture of those professional drivers, so we don't have to snitch on good Bahamians just trying to make a living while almost killing us on the road. Also, to that private vehicle on Shirley Street that made a hard right turn into the lane on their right side to cut off a car and turn into Okra Street. What? You think because we not having Junkanoo, you responsible for all the entertainment this year, sir? Anyway, I'm not really saying this for y'all, because I realize y'all ain't watching nothing. I'm saying this for the police force and the members, the people in the government who have the wherewithal to create programs, policies, and protocols to identify, engage, and stop this behavior. You know how many police officers could get bonus this year if y'all actually paid attention to Mackey and Shirley Street intersection? Anyway, I have to leave that right there because I have a far more exciting show today. Trust me when I tell you, show today. Very exciting. In fact, it's the type of exciting I like, right? It's not just fun. It's not just educational, but it's important, right? These are the tools, the things that build our nation. So I hope you enjoy these discussions this morning as much as I do. Text says, great show as usual, Miss Greene. Look like we won't be playing over and under this Christmas. Listen, if you have an unquenchable desire to gamble your money away, I'm going to text you and tell you where I live. I have a game called Over and Under. Basically, here's how you play it. You could push the money over the fence or you could push the money under the fence, but you ain't getting your money back either way. If you want to play game, come find me. We could play game this Christmas. But that is just an aside. That is not my full commentary on the Carnival saga. It is far more complex than that. And like I said yesterday and earlier in the week in my commentary, that it is important for politicians, decision makers, and policy makers to understand that people's survival depends on them not just doing their jobs, but doing their jobs with a degree of empathy that suggests their job description, that you are fulfilling this function because people require it to survive. Okay? That's why we're upset at y'all politicians, because you keep coming back to us like we're doing the best that we can while we're collecting a full paycheck. But you're not producing the best that you can. And unfortunately, people's lives depend on your ability to do your job well. People are saying it's just carnival. It's jobs. People are saying it's just carnival. It is precious experiences that people are relying on to hold a family and culture together. These are the things that we used to do, and we desperately want to do them again. to think that y'all are just playing, because some of y'all don't never go to carnival. You could get on a plane and go to carnival wherever you want in the world. Y'all don't think about poor people and their needs. And some of you are going to say poor people need to keep their money in their pocket anyway. But that's the same attitude that I'm talking about. Anyway, Arlington, let's go to a quick break, bring in our guest, Miss Beverly Larimore, the Bahamas. Stay tuned to Guardian Radio. We will be right back.
Security is a challenge for many. Now in a pandemic, many more are unsure of their next meal. Through their Feed 5,000 program and a $20,000 donation, AML is working to ensure that everyone has a meal for the holidays, and they're inviting you to help. Now until December 17th, visit any Solomon's, Costrite, Fresh Market, or Domino's in Nassau or Freeport, and Exuma Markets in Georgetown to donate and help feed a family in need this Christmas. No amount is too small. Remember, we're all in this together.
Like what you're hearing on the show? Want to support the conversation? Sponsor On the Clock today. Call Janet Lees at 302-2304. That's 302-2304. Be the solution. Sponsor On the Clock with Erin Greene, where she dissects, we discuss, and you decide.
Here we go. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents are the best. Reliable service, we've been on the scene, protecting since 1919. J.S. Insurance has the test. You're always covered with J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And I played that song for my young Junkanoo, or Junkanooers. In fact, I got somebody in the room who's going to help me figure out what the proper language is. But let's get to our guest in the Zoom room. Good morning, Miss Beverly Larimore from the RBC Caribbean Acts of Kindness campaign. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm good. Thank you for having me on your show this morning.
This season, RBC is spreading joy by giving back and encouraging you to do the same. One simple act of kindness for your family, co-workers, and communities can cause the brightest smile. Help a stranger, give a food basket, or call an elderly person. Caribbean Acts of Kindness is a campaign running from November 8th to December 13th, 2020 in Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas, Barbados, the Cayman Islands, and Turks and Caicos Islands. And this year, Ms. Larimore is being featured as a part of the campaign for her work at the Cancer Society of the Bahamas. Good morning, Ms. Larimore.
Good morning again.
How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to be here, and it's so good to be a recipient of RBC's Act of Kindness. The Cancer Society is an organization, nonprofit, that tries to bring awareness to our cancer demands here in the Bahamas.
Absolutely.
So we're thankful for that.
Absolutely. I just want to plug the Cancer Society just a little bit more, not just early detection, prevention, and treatment of cancer while providing temporary accommodations, as well as social and emotional needs for cancer patients in a peaceful, supportive environment, with 13 branches throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That is amazing. Since its founding in 1976.
Yes, the Cancer Society is trying to do a lot of things in our community. And one of our major accomplishments is the Cancer Caring Center, which is located in Collins Avenue, where we have 10 rooms that can house cancer patients that are taking treatment here in Nassau from the Family Islands. They can stay free of charge there with a caregiver where they have their own private bedrooms, their private bathroom, and they have access to a full kitchen. So we try to maintain that building so that we can provide that because it's very hard coming in from the Family Islands and having nowhere to stay comfortably while doing your cancer treatment. So that is one of our main accomplishments that we have done over the years.
All right. So after reading your bio, you are one impressive woman, a board member of the Cancer Society from 2018, an elected council member of the San Salvador Local Government District Council, as well as president of the Cancer Society San Salvador branch. So it's no wonder that you were RBC's Caribbean Acts of Kindness nominees, right? I mean, this is fabulous. But how long have you been working with and supporting the Cancer Society?
I have been working with the Cancer Society from 2010. It's been 11 years, 11 glorious years that I've been working alongside the Cancer Society. And I chose Cancer Society because cancer affects everyone, no matter your race, your color, your status. And when we have cancer patients in our families, it takes on another role that no one can really fathom. We need that help. Our bills still go on, life still goes on, but you have to stand still and try to survive this vicious attack that there's no really cure for right now. And so I really thought that giving my free time, this was the best organization that I can give my free time to make better. I'm so much Cancer Society, I wish I can just do this full time. But I just want the public to know that, you know, we need assistance. Cancer Society is a nonprofit organization, and we rely dependently on donations coming in. And I'm so happy that RBC, you know, have us as the recipient this year to get some funding coming in, and their you know, family members that are donating. So we just want to encourage everyone to come out and give as little as they can. You know, $1 goes a long way. If 100 people gives $100, that's $100 we didn't have. $100 goes towards supporting someone with cancer. So we just want to encourage persons to donate. We also have a website on the Cancer Society, Bahamas.org, where you can donate and you can see all of our events that we have planned for the year. Every month, we have a monthly meeting highlighting some cancer that information from professional doctors that can answer your questions if you have questions, by the way. We have a Zoom meeting set up every month. You can check that out on our website as well. And there's so much other things going on at Cancer Society. We have a thrift shop that you could go and support us to try and buy stuff to help us fund our campaign. We also have T-shirts and other promotional items at the Cancer Society head office that they can go and promote. And just so that people know, come by and see what we're all about. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I didn't know you had an office. I didn't know you were located here. And our building, we try to keep it well maintained. So go in and see what we're all about and see what you can do to help Cancer Society continue to support this nation.
Absolutely. I just sitting there thinking, y'all need a slogan, thrift with us, for your thrift store, right? That is awesome. Look
Yes.
Also,
and we have a lot of good finds there at our thrift shop. You will not be disappointed.
Also, I'm going to encourage you all to link up with BANRUP, Bahamas Network of Rural Women Producers, to create a campaign where members of the public can donate local produce to the Cancer Society's clients through BANRUP. I think that
sounds like an excellent plan. We will definitely have to talk about that.
Right, because I'm thinking, I want to ask you, how do and how can volunteers support the Cancer Society and its work? How can they contribute through, you know, acts of kindness to support the Cancer Society's work?
Well, you'll be surprised to know a lot of cancer patients just need someone to talk to. Sometimes our families get so busy that, you know, you're standing still at home trying to recover or at the hospital, and you just don't have anyone to talk to because everyone's busy around you. Going to find someone to just have a conversation with, especially if you are someone that is aware of what a cancer patient goes through or maybe a survivor yourself, having that person to contact, to talk with, and just share thoughts. You know, how was your day? You know, how was your treatment? Those are things that you share with other persons. So if you want to donate, you can donate your time by just being able to talk to one of our cancer survivors or persons that are battling cancer this time, because they need that extra encouragement wherever they can get it from. Some people don't even have family that is going through cancer, and they need persons in their lives that they can depend on. We also have functions and activities on a monthly basis where we need volunteers to go out and assist us with whatever function we're having at that time. So they can register online on our website, cancersocietybahamas.org, or they can call into our head office where they can also put their names down on our volunteer registry. And whenever we need assistance, we will call them in to help.
Absolutely. That is great. That is fantastic. So listen, I wanted to ask you, I know that acts of kindness can transform lives. I tell a very brief story. When I was in junior high, I was at this big assembly, right? And as a young girl, I had just started my menstruation, and I got up, and one of the older girls behind me tapped me on the shoulder and said, sit down, sit down. So she leaned in and she said, you had a little accident, right? And she took her sweater, she gave me her sweater, and she told me, tie this around your waist and then get up and go to the bathroom. Nobody will notice. And look here, that little, as a young woman, I was so petrified of exposing myself, right? That small little act of kindness changed my whole attitude about my body, about its place in the world, and about community in the school. I can't even remember the young woman's name, but I am forever grateful. Always remember that moment. If for a moment, can you share with us how small acts of kindness can transform lives, and maybe have transformed lives at the Cancer Society?
Oh, that goes without saying. Well, when you be nice to someone for no other reason, you see someone sitting down on a bench somewhere and they just look out of it, stopping by and saying, how was your day? Is everything okay? Can I help you with something? That may make a big difference in changing that person's life. You don't know what they were going through, what was on their mind, and just that act of kindness to stop and take the time to see what is their problem and just listen to them is an act of do that with our cancer patients. One, we're letting them stay in a well accommodations where they can get their cancer treatment. We also provide them transportation to and from from the oncology department where they get their treatments. If they need to go to the food store, our driver is more than willing to help them to go and get their groceries. The small act of kindness where we call you and say, how are you doing? You know, how was your day? To one of our cancer survivors. When we have functions, we just had a Love Light a Tree function where we light the tree at Mall of Marathon, the Christmas tree, the 40th Christmas tree at Mall of Marathon. And we invited our cancer survivors there, and we did a candle vigil. And that went a long way with some of the cancer survivors. They came back and said, I enjoyed the show. It made me cry. It made me think that someone cared and remembered me. Even though my fight is over, you know, you still called and remembered me. These little smaller acts of kindness, you would give encouragement. When someone is happy, their lives change. Just like how you said, that person giving you the sweater, you know, change your perception on community and community service. That is what Cancer Society and other nonprofit organizations are about, making sure that we know our moral compass, that we need to give back to our community. Some people could give their money, some people could give their experience.
And some people could give their fruit.
Exactly. You could give your food out of your cupboards, you know, the farm that you grow in the back of your yard. In your community, if you do backyard farming and you got a bunch of bananas, share it with your neighbors. You know, and maybe they may start to do backyard farming. So these are things that we do to say, you start and you want with one act of kindness, it spreads. You be nice to someone because someone was nice to you. And that is what RBC and Cancer Society is trying to do, to tell people, look, it's not about the dollar figure all the time. It's not about the time. It's about those little acts of kindness that you can do that can change a person's perception and then make it for the better. And hopefully that this campaign, you know, could spill over into making some money for the Cancer Society so that we could continue our efforts.
Absolutely. So please, as we close out the segment, remind the audience how they can contact the Cancer Society for any inquiries, to figure out where to drop off their donations, or to where to share their ideas of support.
Well, for those persons who are technically inclined, we have our website, cancersocietybahamas.org. And on that website, there is a donate button that you can your credit card.
Okay.
We also can do it the old-fashioned way, where you can call into our head office. Our number is 323-4441. 323-4441, and you can call in and ask them for more information. We also have our banking where you can do direct banking. That number I said earlier, 323-4441, you can call and get the banking information. It is also on our website. Okay. You can do direct payments into our account. You can write a check. You can drop the check off at our head office. So there are many ways to give in, which is convenient for you.
Absolutely. Now, Ms. Larimore, next time you come, you have to bring RBC because I only have one question for them. How come they haven't created a vehicle where I could use my sea grape? I have 1 billion sea grapes and they refuse to let me open an account at RBC with my sea grapes.
Well,
you don't worry.
Time will tell.
Absolutely.
We're getting into cryptocurrencies. I can't see why we can't get into sea grape currency. It's just a matter of time.
Look at it. When's the last time you seen sea grape? They cryptic themselves. They hiding out. Anyway, Ms. Larimore, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I want the campaign, although it runs from November 8th to December 13th, we still have time to contribute our stories, and you can share your stories at rbc.com/acts of kindness. That's rbc.com/acts, ACTSOFKINDNES, acts of kindness. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you to RBC for bringing this campaign from the Canadian body down to the Caribbean to share with us an opportunity to learn more about ourselves. Thank you so much, Ms. Larimore. I hope you're having a good...
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Arlington, let's go to a break. And then when we come back from the break, we have the Miss Charmaine V. Roll in today to talk to us about the Junkanoo community. Stay tuned to 96.9 FM. You're on the clock with Erin Greene. We'll be right back.
Food security is a challenge for many. Now in a pandemic, many more are unsure of their next meal. Through their Feed 5,000 program and a $20,000 donation, AML is working to ensure that everyone has a meal for the holidays, and they're inviting you to help. Now until December 17th, visit any Solomon's, Costrite, Fresh Market, or Domino's in Nassau or Freeport, and Exuma Markets in Georgetown to donate and help feed a family in need this Christmas. No amount is too small. Remember, we're all in this together.
Like what you're hearing on the show? Want to support the conversation? Sponsor On the Clock today. Call Janet Lees at 302-2304. That's 302-2304. Be the solution. Sponsor On the Clock with Erin Greene, where she dissects, we discuss, and you decide.
Here we go. J.S. Johnson Insurance agents are the best. Reliable service, we've been on the scene, protected since 1919. J.S. Johnson Insurance, you're always covered me. J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Good morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It is Friday the 10th of December. You're on the clock with Erin Greene, and this is a Culture Friday. I have a brief ad for you before we get back into the show. Have you been to the Dungalik Studios Art Gallery Farmers Market yet for the season? Well, we have 2 weeks remaining, Saturday the 11th and 18th of December, 2021, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at number 20 Village Road, featuring baked breads, teas, pepper-infused and thyme-infused salts, jams and jellies, soaps and body scrubs, local craft, and jewelry, featuring vendors Craft Cottage, Seasonal Sunshine, Bahamas, Malia's Vegan Treats, Maxie's Jams and Jellies, Rosa Teas, Strawworks, Mud Dough Bakery, Eden Farms, and the whole Dungalik family. Remember, buy Bahamian this holiday season and always. Good morning and welcome back. I'd like to say good morning to my guest this morning, V. Charmaine Roll. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Bahamas. This is V. Charmaine Roll, FIE's Junkanoo Rush. Feel it in your belly.
Man,
it's Junkanoo time.
Listen, good morning.
Good morning.
You make me have to tell people I am from the greatest scrap group in the history of Junkanoo, white people in the whole world. The spirit, except for the Methuselahs and the pigs, for they are the greatest. Good morning, Bahamas. Good morning, Junkanoo community. Now, Miss V. Charmaine Roll is here today to talk to us about what I think is more than just a kindness, but a grand act of community. Miss Roll, please tell us about your current campaign running right now on social media.
Good morning again, Bahamas. And if you're joining us live on Facebook, please go ahead and share the video. FIE's Junkanoo Rush. We established ourselves in 2015. And I was actually in the parade management team of the JCNP at the time. And when I walked away from that, we went into the media world where we were on Cable 12.
Okay.
And also we were on 102.9.
Okay.
And so we ventured into the media end of it to get more of the information out there.
Yes.
To people, watching in, to begin to know about the rules, begin to know about the behind the scenes aspect of Junkanoo. And what I did is, to all of the Junkanoo parades, I did behind the scenes. So I let the public see what happens behind the scenes before you get to Bay. Give them an explanation of all the rules and everything that is happening.
Yeah.
On Junkanoo time.
Like how Spirit Scrap Group is be rushing through the gate, giving all the Valley and the Saxons their energy, juice them up to go back on Bay Street behind the scenes like that, right?
Right. But behind the scenes, really, because what happened is a lot of persons don't see back streets.
Yeah.
Getting the costumes together, heating the drums, and listen, it's a whole different world in those back streets.
And let me tell you why that's so important, right? Because if you like me and other people who's sitting there waiting for the parade, we waiting for that music, we waiting for that next group, and it's 30 minutes. So if you're a scrap group like us, and we used to be there begging the boy, why we can't go on? It's a gap. Why we can't go on?
Right.
Let us go on. But then when you go behind the scenes, you realize that it's not that things are just dead. Things are happening.
Yes.
And you can't just let a scrap group run in there because it may throw the timing off.
Right.
Because right when they're ready to go, the scrap group don't want to come off Bay. That's how we go.
Well, see, listen now, behind the scenes, that's where all the jazz happen. So remember now, once a group goes down, they don't really get to see who's coming behind them. So before the parade actually begins, you get to go to the different groups and see what their themes are, and you do a little trash talking, and your brass and kind of carrying on in the next, the girls in one kind of putting themselves together. So the behind the scenes was the aspect of where we brought it to persons online all around the world, Erin. We had persons from all Bahamians who just want a feel of Junkanoo. And what we would do the behind scenes, and then when the parade starts exactly at 12:01, we would go live again, enabling them to see and feel the spirit of Junkanoo, which is the spirit of the Bahamian people.
Absolutely. Yeah, you keep calling my scrap group. I almost jump up just now, Arlington, and
So what's the spirit scrap group? Because I didn't know the Sting.
Listen,
and the pig.
Spirit Scrap Group is a combination of local scrappers and Junkanooers Indians living abroad who only could get back in time to put together one piece of scrap costume.
Right.
And we were organized in the hub art gallery, right? And so and some people tell, oh, look, in fact, I heard the first time we went on Bay Street, people said, look at all them white people on the street. Woo! It was a mix of Bahamians abroad and at home who come together at the last minute. And we had an artistic theme. So in fact, we invited artists from around the world and local artists to contribute to create a Bahamian theme and cultures. So we was good. And we had some seasoned junkanooers who took time away from their traditional junkanoo group and make sure we had that fire. Because they had to let us know the first rule of scrapping is once you hit the road, you can't stop making music. Road and them judges the officials let you on the road, you make music until you hit the next gate. You cannot disappoint people. So we had some seasoned junkanooers come out to make sure we was doing it right.
Well, let me give you a little story. And most interviews I go on, I try to tell the story. There's a totally different environment when you're in Navy Line Road, those back street that leads to all those side corners. And there's a particular spirit, Erin, that comes on you when you were in Old Navy Line. On the corner there, Pompey Museum, do you know where our ancestors used to be housed as slaves? Okay? And so that particular morning, Boxing Day, Pacific years morning, a total spirit comes over you when you kick off to that gate. You get goosebumps, different element on you altogether once you are there. And I always feel that that's our ancestral spirits just taking over us and letting them.
And so for our scrap group, we would start, because we rebels, we start on the Shirley Street side. Right? And then we make the line.
Right.
And so that's it, is to reach, you got to reach there. You got to show
it's calling you. It's
right.
calling you.
You got to show committed to this, and you brought your, like Arlene Nash Ferguson to say, I come to
get me, right?
I come to bring me my ancestors.
Right.
It's just a something, man.
Yeah.
And so you, from scrapper to main group junkanoo, once you've been get in it to understand, and even as a scrapper, I could say, look, I was just a junior scrapper, right?
So you ain't want to go back behind the
barricade.
That's it.
And in fact, and it's something that the authorities that can do, right, and the parades and design them, we need to figure out how to inculcate that into the new parade design. Once you've been on the road, you can't just sit behind the barricade no more.
Well, you can imagine right now. Well, I'm over it now in terms of the withdrawal symptoms of being on Bay Street to even rush or be in the media aspect of it. Because, nobody, Erin. Touch the road means you ain't on the boulevard. We call it the boulevard. Bay Street is known as the boulevard, and you touching the road. So you got someone that just want to touch the road. When you hear that junkanoo music, you want to touch the road. Junkanoo is when those drum in your system, in your stomach. That's why my slogan says, feel it in your belly, because you get a feeling. There's no other feeling in the world.
But I mean, I imagine island to the world feel as powerful as that. Because, like you say, as scared as I was the first time, and they say, it's one thing to know that you gotta make music till you hit the next gate. But it's another thing to know when you hit Rawson Square, you gotta perform. And just for the people on the...
But hold on now, Erin. Listen now.
Yeah.
Let's go back now.
Yeah.
It's just not
wrong. Right.
See, that's what we gotta think about now. Now, the reason why I say that is because a lot of people say, oh, you gotta wait till you get to Rawson Square to perform. Now, at least from my aspect of knowing it when I was there, the judging starts specifically from Charlotte Street straight across. So you got to give per seats some entertainment.
In fact, if you want to impress me on Bay Street, when you coming up, you got to bring the crowd with you.
Exactly.
I want to see the crowd trying to move to follow you, because otherwise, what's the point of you going into Rawson Square, right?
That's true. But see now, and now also, Rawson Square normally have ZNS, the camera. So, but now, previous years, they're at the gate now. So they're enabling persons to see what it starts like, the entertainment aspect of it right straight through, because even you being judged in every single zone.
Right, and that's it, the technical for Rawson Square.
Right.
But see, with us,
you pace yourself for Rawson Square.
But we used to join up with the BC Shockers.
Okay.
So we had to prove to them on that run from Charlotte to Rawson that we were worthy. Right? They ain't really the people on the benches.
Right.
It's the group, the BC show. We had to prove to them that we were worthy to rush with them, because I think they a B group or a C group, while we just a scrap.
They're a fun group.
No, man, they bigger than that.
No, man, they fun.
Man, they serious.
BC Shockers is a fun group.
Okay, listen, we got to get to the video series.
Right.
But before we do that, I got to ask you this question. Where do I find the big drum, the big drum they do the Rolling Thunder beat on, boom, 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 boom.
Well, you got right here on top of the hill, you got Barabbas. You got Junk in the World. And actually, let me put a plug in here for Barabbas. Barabbas has something that he's doing this particular month where he has their setup where persons can come and have like a drive-through. And he was one of the first ones instrumental in bringing that beat,
The
that
Rolling
particular beat,
Thunder.
that Rolling Thunder beat.
You sure? Because I feel like somebody was on Long Key and somebody's in Acklands and somebody is in Ragged.
Right.
And they was rowing about something and they had to use that beat.
No,
Boom.
but another thing now too, I know Miss Nash Ferguson always spoke about the drums from our ancestral heritage. It's a call.
Yeah.
It's a call to the next community to say, listen, something is happening. So when you hear that drum, you go to where you hear the drum that is beating.
Yes. You know why I need a Rolling Thunder drum beat? I have some raccoons. I want them to hear me. Like, me and them have to talk, but I would rather them not be there. So I would use a little drum to get them notice, get out my delivery. But I love it. I love the Rolling Thunder drum. And so a part of the Junkanoo world also has to be, and it's a good thing, not a bad thing, ensuring that we can always have access to the tools necessary to replicate the past, to grow in the present, and to move towards the future.
Yeah, to
right?
keep the spirit of Junkanoo alive.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
Absolutely.
And nowadays, Erin, the youngsters are not too much in tune like persons of our age when it comes to Junkanoo. See, remember, we had nothing. We was doing that from we come out the womb.
Right.
Okay, and in the school systems now, even when they have junior Junkanoo and all these stuff, the students are not pacing the costumes themselves. You have older groups that come in to assist them. You could tell when you get on Bay Street, the particular groups for junior Junkanoo, that the youngsters pace them. So we have to make sure all of this is implemented into the school systems.
Absolutely. And we need a little equality and equity there.
Yes, we
right?
do.
You can't let the Junkanoo parents' children outpace the children who really into it but don't have the home culture to support them.
Right.
That's a big thing too. Look here, Arlington, as we get ready to go, right? The last song I want to play is City of Gold by the Valley Boys. I think that's a beautiful one to dedicate.
Yes, it is, for what we were about to speak about.
We're about to speak about. Absolutely. I just want to say, I tired now. I old and I tired now. But if I had found a man with a Rolling Thunder drum who could do that beat, I may have been married by now, man. I may have been married. You know how I know? Because if ever I out there and he mad, I know he could just hit that. When I hear that boom boom, I know that mean come home now, woman. Come home now. Anyway, Miss Roll, let us talk about the video series Junkanoos Lost During the Pandemic.
Okay, yes, excellent. And I just like to send a special shout out to my twin, FIE's Junkanoo Rush, Brenton Boo Roll. That's where FIE comes from.
Okay.
And so he and I, we talk about doing a lot of initiatives for the end of the year, seeing from last year, what we did, Erin, on last year on Facebook. We had a series of videos every Tuesday night we played where we interviewed different Junkanoos from different areas of the Junkanoo. What I did is I did the aspect of a whole parade. So I started from how you line up on Bay Street. I did front line, brass section, choreograph, back line. We did all these different sections. So we had these persons coming in, to talk about Junkanoo, because right then we were trapped in COVID. So every Tuesday at 7, we began at 7, we never finished till 9 where we had persons on. Yeah. And what we did is we decided this year, we just watched it a bit, and we had so many persons dying. And so we said, plenty of people ain't gonna touch the road no more. And early in the year, I had one of my best friends who was in charge of Grand Marshal for the Shirley Street area, Reuben Joseph, God rest his soul. He passed suddenly. And, I said, that hurt me, Erin. Mm-hmm. And Reuben always said to me, Charmaine, you have to keep pushing. Mm-hmm. You got to push. And one morning I was walking, doing my exercise, and I said, Lord, just open up my mind to some things. And this came to me. I said, you know what? We have to put forward these persons who's never going to touch this road again. We have family members, right now it's a sad time for them, but to see the memory of their loved ones.
And just to know that the community that they dedicated themselves to, because these people taking 6 to 8 months out of the year to prepare for Junkanoo for us. And for themselves, but for us too. That is awesome. Okay.
Okay, and so what we did is we had a series of videos that I had put together. When I first started out, Erin,
Yeah.
I had about 30 persons. Unlike about 2 weeks ago when I really started to go through the videos and got my graphic artist to start putting the videos together, my number was 54.
Yeah.
I said, OMG. I said, you know what? What I did is I spoke to some of the leaders from all of the different groups. And I told them, I said, listen, this is what we need to do. I need you to give me the persons who in your group has passed from 2020, the beginning, right up to present. So anybody out there who has Junkanoo that passed, particularly the leaders, if you have not sent me those persons' name and those photos, what we did is we developed 30-second videos which could fit on top of a snap. So you could
Right.
be sharing it really quickly and it'll move faster.
Yeah.
Each particular person from a particular group, we have their music that's playing in the background. So take, for instance, have the music makers, you have their music in the back of their video. Valley Boy, same thing, Saxons, Genesis, all of that. And so what we did is every morning, about 4:30 between that time or by 7, I normally post 2 videos to all of the different Junkanoo pages, and then I just ask the people to share it. Even in Freeport, we had some persons came in from Freeport. I'm asking persons from Eleuthera and Andres and Exuma, to just, they can inbox me on Facebook. Go on Facebook, the fans of Junkanoo Rush, or you could go to the Junkanoo Rush page and just send me messages. Our main page was hacked, so we had to start all over again, but it's now fans of Junkanoo. Or you can go to the Junkanoo Rush page where we'll be sharing these videos basically. And I've had so many persons just inboxing me, telling me, Charmaine, just keep them coming because these persons' names has to go on. The slogan that I brought forward and I thought about was, you know what? They will beat in our hearts forever as their names ring in our ears.
They will beat in our
hearts
forever as their names ring in our ears. Absolutely.
Yeah, because we have to remember these persons. And we had a lot of legends pass during this particular season. A lot of legends from all the particular groups. You have B, you have A, you have fun.
And listen, we're going to close out, we're all out of time. We're going to close out the show with Valley Boy's rendition of City of Gold. And I chose that in honor of the Junkanoo's past, but also what we don't have on this list is the Junkanoo fans and the super fans that will also not be able to touch road or see road.
Right, or watch
road.
Or watch the theatrical performances.
Right. My aunt Juanita, nurse Juanita Greene, passed away last week. And she's one of the biggest Junkanoo fans out there. And so it is not sacrilege that I put on my Valley Boy shirt today in honor of my aunt Juanita, and I'm going to call her a Junkanoo lost during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Because she looked at me and she said, I love you, baby, but I love Junkanoo more. That's Bahamians love. I know she loved me, right? But that's how much she loved Junkanoo. I love you, but I love Junkanoo more. And so let's say blessings, sleep in peace, rush forever to the Junkanoos lost during the pandemic. Remind the people where they can reach
Again,
you to submit
you can
names.
go on Facebook, the fans of Junkanoo or Junkanoo Rush page, or also you can go to my Facebook page, Charmaine V. Roll, and just send the information into the inbox.
Absolutely. Miss Roll, I have to bring you back on. Maybe the day after New Year's where we didn't rush, but we had some boiled fish and we could talk about the things we miss on the road.
I know, right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Erin.
Absolutely. Miss V. Charmaine Roll, and you can tune into the fans of Junkanoo or the Junkanoo Rush page on Facebook to tune into this wonderful and necessary commemoration of Junkanoo's loss during the pandemic. Thank you for staying tuned to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM while we were on the clock with Erin Greene. Levon Miller and Unleashed is up next. Have a wonderful day, Bahamas. I want to send a shout out to Ubuntu, a local drumming group. I know you're going to keep us in drums this Christmas season. Have a great day, Bahamas. Oh.